Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Tarpon Springs, located in the heart of the walkable Tarpon Springs Historic District and known as the home of the Innes paintings. We are a liberal community for all ages, promoting spiritual growth, social justice, and the arts. I'm Reverend Christina Spouty, minister here of UUCTS. I'm glad you are here. I hope that you find meaning in today's service. Please consider joining us on a Sunday morning when we gather to worship as a community every week beginning at 10:30 a.m. on Zoom, or drop in for a more personal visit to one of our coffee hours starting at 11:30 on Sundays on Zoom. Please refer to our website for information about how to connect with us on Zoom. Our service associate will now begin today's service. Let us enter this sacred time with open minds and open hearts.
Hi, my name is Robbie Varner. Welcome to our virtual service. The inspiration for today's service is Vision After a Pause. Two of our members, Barbara Kostreva and Barbara Rosen, will share reflections of 2020's jewels our church experienced in the midst of the pandemic. Thank you to everyone who collected and assembled this recording. Another gem we learned about to stay connected, though we were physically interrupted. As we light this flame, may we continue to hold its warmth and light as we walk through our journey, inspired by our UU principles, our core values, and our commitment to one another to make this world a better place for all.
Let us come now all together in heart and mind and soul. Let us worship in our own way, but seek a common goal to seek peace and justice and find strength in love, to dance in the Spirit and sing a song of life. Let us come now all together from places near and far. Let us celebrate each other, no matter who we are, to seek peace and justice and find strength in love, to dance in the Spirit and sing the song of life.
Today's story is called Frederick by Leo Leone. All along the meadow where the cows grazed and the horses ran, there was an old stone wall. In that wall, not far from the barn and the granary, a chatty family of field mice had their home. But the farmers had moved away. The barn was abandoned. The granary stood empty. And since winter was not far off, the little mice began to gather corn and nuts and wheat and straw. They worked all day and night, all except Frederick. "Frederick, why don't you work?" they asked. "I do work," said Frederick. "I gather sun rays for the cold, dark winter days." And when they saw Frederick sitting there, staring at the meadow, they said, "And now, Frederick?" "I gather colors," answered Frederick simply, "for winter is gray." And once Frederick seemed half asleep. "Are you dreaming, Frederick?" they asked reproachfully. But Frederick said, "Oh no, I'm gathering words, for the winter days are long and many, and we'll run out of things to say." The winter days came, and when the first snow fell, the 5 little field mice took to their hideout in the stones. In the beginning, there was lots to eat, and the mice told stories of foolish foxes and silly cats. They were a happy family. But little by little, they had nibbled up most of the nuts and berries. The straw was gone, and the corn was only a memory. It was cold in the wall, and no one felt like chatting. Then they remembered what Frederick had said about the sun rays and colors and words. "What about your supplies, Frederick?" they asked. "Close your eyes," said Frederick as he climbed on a big stone. "Now I send you the rays of the sun. Do you feel how their golden glow?" And as Frederick spoke of the sun, the 4 little mice began to feel warmer. Was it Frederick's voice? Was it magic? "And how about the colors, Frederick?" they asked anxiously. "Close your eyes again," Frederick said. And when he told them of the blue periwinkles and the red poppies, in the yellow wheat and the green leaves of the berry bush, they saw the colors as clearly as if they had been painted in their minds. "And the words, Frederick?" Frederick cleared his throat. "Wait a moment." And then he said, as if from a stage, "Who scatters the snowflakes? Who melts the ice? Who spoils the weather? Who makes it nice? Who grows the 4-leaf clovers in June? Who dims the daylight? Who lights the moon? 4 little field mice who live in the sky. 4 little field mice like you and I. One is the spring mouse who turns on the showers. Then comes the summer who paints in the flowers. The fall mouse is next with walnuts and wheat, and winter is last with cold little feet. Aren't we lucky the seasons are 4? Think of a year with 1 less or 1 more." When Frederick was finished, they all applauded. "But Frederick," they said, "you're a poet." Frederick blushed, took a bow, and said shyly, "I know it."
Why are there so many songs about rainbows, and what's on the other
Welcome. The words of inspiration for today were written by Margaret Weiss. The church has left the building. The church is not a place, it is a people. The church is not only a steeple above a tree line, streets and cars. Rather, it's a people proclaiming to the world that we are here for the work of healing and of justice. The church is not walls built stone upon stone, held together by mortar, but rather person, linked with person, linked with person, all ages and genders and abilities. A community built on the foundation of reason, faith, and love. The church is not just a set of doors opening on a Sunday morning, but the commitment day after day and moment after moment of our hearts, creaking open the doors of welcome to the possibility of new experience and radical welcome. The church is not simply a building, a steeple, a pew. The church is the gathering together of all people, of all experiences, and fear and love and hope in our resilient hearts, gathering however we can to say to the world, welcome, come in, lay down your heartaches, and pick up hope and love. For the church is each of us and every one of us together, a beacon of hope to a world that sorely needs it. Welcome.
Stay in my heart. the open door of justice, we will build this house.
It's time for the offering for the work and the welfare of this church. Please go to our website, uutarpon.org, and click on the donate button. Or please send your checks to 57 Reed Street. The entire address is right there on your screen. And thank you.
For this we stand, all peoples of the earth, in spirit as in law, across this sacred land, all worth and dignity bestowed to each as right of birth. Our lives in interdependence, for this we stand. For this we stand, one human family, evolving tapestry, spun of a single thread, of earth and water born, this harvest of diversity. One flame of life bright within us. For this we stand.
Today's service is a result of conversations Barbara Kostreva and I have had and shared. We've had an interesting year plus since the 2020 pandemic. Barbara, what do you think we've accomplished in that year?
Thank you for this opportunity to reflect. We have been and still are a church of many welcomes, building a welcoming community. 6 years outside the building, keeping and growing our community through sinkhole repair and return to a renovated, vaulted, sunshine lit, and Innis paintings everywhere in 2019. And then only 10 months later, what happened? Just long enough to remind us of the importance of sanctuary and our faith and our community. But 14 months have passed. We have been holding each other with telephone tree contact, Zoom meetings, committee meetings, social justice and the arts, getting to know each other better, and sharing our personal stories, our art collections, even hosting gatherings for area Unitarian Universalist churches. Let's take a special moment to recognize ourselves for our commitment and our efforts. That we are willing to try new things. We adapted, learned Zoom quickly. First came experiments with Zoom. We lived through that. And then the live Sunday gatherings, coffee hour, a resilient team of people bringing us together and sharing joys and concerns, bringing our community together and staying with each other. And then came the creation, recording, and publishing of worship services. That was amazing. We got it on YouTube together. We kept the community involved. Bonnie Whitehurst gave us a variety of instruments and beautiful music from her home to support us. And you and others found us speakers and children's stories and poetry and pause for inspiration and prose for chalice lighting and poetry. Barbara, you introduced our first recorded service in March 2020. to keep the flame going. And we have kept it going. We still light our chalice every Sunday, and we record here now in our sanctuary our paintings and involve many of our members in different parts of the service every week. And we're on YouTube. That's a commitment to relationship building and the staying power of community.
Is there anything else that you've, in addition to that you've thought about?
What's brought us through this pandemic? What's brought us to continuing the welcome, continuing the service, continuing our faith in community, making the effort to share with each other, share thoughts about what we can become in leadership, in wanting a minister, in community building. And we made a search for a minister during a pandemic that surrounds us.
A very large piece for our church was the result of our search for a new minister. How thrilled we were to find Reverend Christina Spotty and hire her at 3/4 time beginning in August of 2019. This began the new experience as neither we nor Reverend Christina had foreseen. With isolation, her first role was pastoral care with members, friends, and visitors through Zoom and phone calls until she moved here in September 2020.
We have some pictures of her in front of the church welcoming us. Quite an introduction.
Hello, Tarpon Springs. It is so good to be here with you in the Sunshine State, such as it is today. My hair is enjoying the humidity, but I am grateful to have arrived.
Reverend Christina not only fit right in, she brought us a heightened presence. She introduced herself through Zoom to us in a Sunday service and in a coffee hour. She has welcomed new members, moving us forward from child care to youth faith formation. Having a minister and her as our minister has provided a history and stories of Unitarian Universalism to us, connecting us to the larger faith. Her frequent direct communication on Facebook has attracted visitors and multiple subscribers to our YouTube channel, certainly raised our visibility.
Part of her leadership in our congregation is her willingness to walk the journey of this church and its members wish to accomplish. Her reminder to us is that the work is ours to do together, facing the challenges of learning more about ourselves, each other, and our attention to the community around us. We have grown more open through our many conversations. We're experiencing this through enhanced virtual time on Sundays after we watch the service together on YouTube, and being able to express through reflection important, meaningful thoughts from the service. What other new experience have you seen happen?
You're reminding me that some of the things she's brought out has been that the community is a container. It's kind of like poetry. It's a place to hold you. It's a place to accept your questions. It's a place that sees you, that listens to you. We've been experiencing that in our Sunday service experience. It's brought us closer together. We're watching the recorded service together now, and that offers us time to be together and listen to each other, to see each other, to have our arms and our hearts open to each other. We may not be able to hug yet, but we are able to care for each other. Bringing in that diversity of new ministers, she's challenged us. The addition of spiritual themes to the program, the development of a covenant group regular meeting to investigate themes such as belonging, integrity, courage, inspiring deeper thought and conversation. That's all the church community does. It offers you a place to be held, to be embraced, to be listened to. We offer that. Yesterday, I visited our campus at 230 Grand Boulevard and 57 Reed Street. And today again, did you notice? The landscaping is colorful and lush. So very different than a year ago.
And that's another connection to the community around us. The outdoor grounds and its own sanctuary for our friends and neighbors. When we remember that until May of 2019, we did not even have an outdoor landscaping set of grounds because of the remodeling of our beautiful church. Can you walk us through a couple of those, Barbara?
Oh, I'll try. Let's start with the 5 smooth stones of our liberal faith that were etched in and set in place for love, justice, courage, peace, and joy. We're grateful to Marty Cardinal. She's been involved with landscaping for many, many years. She's passed away, and her legacy gifts to the church grounds continue. Those gifts initiated the butterfly garden, the memorial bricks, and the chalice fountain, the hope fountain. Marty acquired rain barrels to help fulfill our mission in conservation of water. And you were involved with that. We have some pictures, I think.
Yes, the rain barrels.
Yeah.
The idea was for us to make use of rainwater collected from our summer rains to use as a water source for the butterfly garden when it needed watering. And we included some artwork to enhance the barrels. There's so many people who worked on these projects, and we don't want to forget thanking any of them, and to honor the way people worked together to make our spaces beautiful. As a welcoming community, we know we have more work to do.
Important work to do. But we also can take a moment to recollect who we are, who we were, preparing for the future, to truly appreciate that we've committed to being together, we've committed to reworking relationships and making community, both here among us and towards the outside world. In learning, we have witnessed Reverend Christina's addition as a commitment to continue community, building a Unitarian Universalist faith community. We know we have the courage together to keep trying. We know we have the strength and faith to see perspectives beyond today. And perhaps in that acknowledgement of who we were and recognizing who we are, the choices for the future to become more will be easier.
Yes. As we close today, we look forward to using our vision to continue to walk our path here at UUCTS with our members, friends, and community. Thank you.
Thank you.
Our closing words today come from Jean Harrison Newyar. She has written in The Gift of Faith, "In the lore of ancient China, there's a story of a philosopher who was asked, 'Where is the road called hope?' He replied, 'It does not exist, but as people move forward upon it, it comes into being.' I invite you to join me on this ever-widening path called hope with me.
Go now in peace, go now in peace. May the light of love surround you everywhere, everywhere you may go. Go now in peace, go now in peace. May the light of love surround you everywhere, everywhere you may go.
I hope that you found meaning in today's service. Again, I invite you to consider joining us sometime on Sunday morning when we gather for worship as a community. The service starts at 10:30 a.m. on Zoom. You are also welcome to drop into our Zoom room coffee hour any Sunday at 11:30 for friendly conversation. Please refer to our website for more information on how to connect with us on Zoom. If you use the Connect Online button, it will take you directly to any of our activities. We look forward to meeting you.